Hi everyone, welcome to Recipes and Riches. My name is Sabrina Simmons, and during these episodes, you guys are going to learn how to make some really great recipes that are very delicious, easy to make, but you'll also learn about some wealthy people who went from rags to riches. Like today, I'm going to show you guys how to make a really great taco salad. It's a favorite recipe in my household, and you'll also learn about Jeff Bezos and how he went from Albuquerque, New Mexico to being the richest person in the world by founding Amazon. So go ahead, hit the subscribe button so that way you get notified every Saturday when we drop a new recipe, a new video, so you don't miss out. So let's go ahead and get started. So Jeff Bezos was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. At the time, his mother was a teenager, and she was married to his father. And their marriage lasted a little over a year, and they got divorced. So Mike Bezos is actually a Cuban immigrant. He immigrated from Cuba at the age of 15 by himself to the United States. Isn't that something? So he actually went to the University of Albuquerque, and during this time he remarried and actually married Jeff Bezos' mother. So she remarried to him. And he worked his way to the University of Albuquerque, and then they moved to Texas, where Jeff's mother actually had some ancestors, some family there. Jeff had a grandfather there in Texas who had like 25,000 acres of farmland. So Jeff went to work on the farm. He did a lot of chores around the farm to help his grandfather. And so during this time, they started seeing how really smart Jeff was. He actually, as a toddler, took his crib apart with a screwdriver. Can you believe that? A toddler is taking his crib apart with a screwdriver. He also put these mechanical alarm systems together because he wanted to keep his siblings out of his room, which is really interesting. And then as he got older, he turned his family's garage into a laboratory. So he was really smart, and they saw that. So they then moved to Miami, where Jeff went to high school, and this is when he really started loving and having a passion for computers. And so he graduated top of his class, valedictorian. And when he left Miami High School, he went to Princeton University. So, Jeff was smart, from a really young age, small package, big mind, big ideas. Went to Princeton University to pursue a degree in physics. So when he got to Princeton University, he realized, computer science is really my passion. And to all of you entrepreneurs out there, and this is important, if you are selling something or doing something that you're not passionate about, then that's really going to be challenging for your business, because as we all know, there's a lot of late nights, there's a lot of early mornings, and there's going to be times where you don't want to get up. And what's going to keep you going? It's going to be that fire and that passion that you have, because what you're doing is something that you love. And Jeff Bezos realized this when he was in Princeton University. He realized, well, computer science is what I love to do, so I'm going to do computer science. And he graduated with a degree in computer science. So again, if you're out there doing something and you have a business, make sure it's something that you're passionate about, because again, those late nights and early mornings when things are getting tough, what's going to keep you fighting for your business is the passion that you have, because you're doing something you love to do. You're not doing it for the money, you're doing it because you love to do it. So that's a really important lesson. Jeff Bezos learned that lesson early on when he was in college at Princeton University. So while Jeff was working on Wall Street, he again was working on computers, and he noticed something interesting. This was back in the 90s, and this is when the internet really started coming out. He noticed that people were starting to use this thing called the internet. And he was like, wait a minute, there's a lot of opportunity here for a person to enter this market and make some money, right? It was in the field that he loved to do, which is related to computers. And so he started doing some research, and he found out that the usage continued to increase. And so Jeff was like, you know what, let me see how I can get into this. So he did some research. He started researching mail order companies. Because he was thinking, like, what can I put through the mail, right, using this new internet tool that's easy to get from place to place to different people. He researched a bunch of different mail order companies, and he landed on books. I mean, what better thing to send in the mail than books? And this was a time when there was no e-commerce on the internet. Nobody was selling anything on the internet. So Jeff was like, what can I sell that I enjoy reading, but also is still related to something that I'm passionate about, which is computers. So he landed on books, and the very next day, do you know he went to a conference in Los Angeles? He went to a booksellers conference to meet booksellers and to learn how to sell books. And while he was there, he compiled a list of inventory of all the books these people had, these publishers had. But the challenge they were having was they didn't have a place to sell the books. So Jeff was like, wait a minute, why don't I build a place for these people to sell a book, and and they'll come, and then I can make money, right? So he decided that's what he wanted to do. So he went into his back to his employer and said, hey, there is some great opportunity here. This internet thing is generating a lot of engagement. People are using it. I see opportunity here that we can sell books. And do you know his employer didn't listen to him? And that's an important thing. If you have employees, they are the next best thing to your customer. Employees are going to have really great feedback for you, great ideas. So if you have employees and if they don't have a channel to give a good idea or give feedback to you about your business, product, or service, then you should go out and make sure you provide that channel today. Because they are the people that are down in the trenches, that are helping to support your business, and I'm pretty sure they have some really great ideas on how you can improve your business. So make sure you provide an opportunity and a channel for them to give you that feedback. So he went and talked to his wife, Mackenzie, and she was like, I got your back. Let's do it. And they both quit their job and they flew down to Texas where Mike Bezos was, and he provided them with a Chevy Blazer. Now, once they got this Blazer, they headed to Seattle, Washington. And you're probably wondering, why are they going to Seattle, Washington? Well, that's because while Jeff was at the booksellers conference, he realized that a lot of the big, largest publishers were located in Seattle, Washington. And so what better place to go than Seattle, Washington, where you can be close to those publishers, as well as, have access to that pool of talent that can actually help you, grow your website and things like that. And so Mackenzie drove. On the way up, Jeff was in the passenger seat, and he was writing the business plan. He was trying to think of what should I name this company. He thought about a lot of different names. He thought about a river in South America called the Amazon that has like an endless, river of branches. And he was like, Amazon is what it is. It's going to be Amazon. It just spoke to him. And so he named the company Amazon while he was in the passenger seat on his way up to Seattle, Washington. When they got to Seattle, Washington, they rented a 2-bedroom house, and Jeff went over to Home Depot and bought $60 worth of these kind of pianos to help build his micro sound systems. It was going to house his, computer hardware and things like that. So he built that equipment, and he built his website. And when he built his website, when he built Amazon, he recruited about 300 people, consisting of family, friends, other people, to help him test Amazon. They tested Amazon. The code that Jeff put together worked seamlessly, and Amazon was born. And so Jeff told them to spread the word. He didn't even spend marketing dollars. He was just like, spread the word. They spread the word. And soon after, about 60 days later, Jeff was making about $20,000 a week selling books. $20,000 a week selling books. And so Amazon took off. They soon after went public with the company. After that, they surpassed his top two competitors, which was Barnes and Nobles and Borders. And Amazon, became the #1 bookseller. But what's really important is that Jeff found ways to continue to innovate Amazon. They continue to build upon it while, introducing, one-click shopping and some other features as well. And so, that's also an important lesson. If you have a business, you're selling a product or service, continue to find ways to innovate it, make it better, provide more services and benefits to your customers. You gotta stay competitive in your industry, in your market. So, make sure you continue to stay competitive. That's what Amazon has done. They went from selling books to selling everything, right? Jeff said, I want Amazon to not be the book selling store, but to be the everything store. And today, I'm pretty sure we can all agree, they're the everything store. So he was able to achieve that goal there. And today it's one of the richest companies in the world. When Kindle launched, believe it or not, there wasn't even an iPad. So he came up with the first ever tool to read books. And when Kindle went out, he got 95% of those online digital book readers because no one else was doing it. So then Apple came out with the iPad, and Jeff was like, no, you're not. So he slashed the Kindle prices to be extremely competitive against the iPad. They continued to improve the Kindle to provide features that the iPad didn't, and they won that race. And so today, Jeff Bezos continued to innovate Amazon, improve its services, and that's the same thing that you should be doing as an entrepreneur is, looking at the products and services you offer and thinking of ways that you can continue innovating and being different and more competitive in your niche and in your market. So that's how Jeff became the richest person in the world, by launching this really great, platform for all of these people to be able to access. And he wanted Amazon to go from the big bookstore to being the anything store. So, after launching books, they went into clothing and toys and shoes, and they continue to add things, new things all the time to Amazon. So Amazon is such a wonderful company. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to share my secret ingredient with you guys now, which is Doritos. So I love putting nacho cheese and Cool Ranch Doritos on my taco salad. So all you do, crumble those things up, crumble them up, and put them on your taco salad. So I hope this was inspiring to you. I hope it was. Hope you learned some things. And again, follow and subscribe us, and tune in every Saturday for a new recipe and a new highlight of a wealthy person who went from rags to riches.